Joining me today, you may know him from John Boy Media and all the videos on YouTube of him freaking out over Yankee losses. And that, of course, is the world-famous Joe's McFly. Joe's, thank you very much for hanging out with me today. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm still kind of like looking over my shoulder, seeing if they're going to send security, get me out of here. But, I'm here today.
If they didn't grab security to get Loogie out of the studio in 2 days, you're fine. Now, me and Joe's were hanging out. We were chatting. We were talking baseball, talking about life. And we witnessed something that I think we need to address, because if this happens 1 month from now, people are going to freak out. People are going to lose their minds, and all of the momentum that has been gaining towards the beauty of the pitch clock will disappear.
Yes.
The Mets are playing a meaningless game today. Max Scherzer's just getting ready for the start of the season. And he let the pitch count expire, not on purpose, and then right as it expired, threw a pitch, and a double play was turned. And so if you're watching the game, you're like, oh, yay, double play, everybody's happy. But then we saw that it was a pitch clock violation. A ball is called. There's no double play. Max looks like he has to go to the bathroom. He then proceeds to give up like 7 runs, and Max Scherzer's taken out of the game. You saw it. I saw it. This is not like the end of the world for the pitch clock, is it?
No, but don't let that happen in an important game, like something happened, or like a rivalry game. Like if it's Yankees-Red Sox as an example, or you guys are going against the Braves, big play in the game, and you have a double play that you think it's a double play, everybody's hype and happy, and ends up being, oh, it's a pitch clock thing. People are going to go ballistic. I would.
Oh, no. But you know what's funny? So I'm watching this clip, and I knew what happened before it happened, to be fair. He threw the pitch at 0. Like, he committed a pitch clock violation. And here's a little message for Max Scherzer. You want to play your little games. You want to get all cute. You want to, I'm going to milk the clock to 0. I'm going to play head games with the hitters. That's great. Make sure you get the pitch off before it hits 0. Because if it does, it's a violation. Just like in the NFL, if you don't get the play off before 0, hey, it's a delay of game, and there's a 5-yard penalty. So let that be a lesson for Max, and let it be a lesson for everybody in baseball that you can try to take advantage of this clock as you should.
Yep.
But if you commit a violation, they're going to call it.
Yeah, as they should call it. They should definitely call it to the letter of the law. I mean, we seen Wandy the other day just strike somebody out in like 20 seconds.
Yes.
The whole thing. So there's no real excuse, but it's going to be tough when it does happen. We just got to get used to it, kind of like how in basketball, there's that shot clock. Somebody doesn't get it off. Everybody just like, well, you didn't get it off.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
It's a part of the game. And, we're still figuring out in the early going. That's why I think spring training ratings are actually through the roof, and they are. Like, everybody's bragging about how high spring training ratings are. And I think the reason that they're high is because that there's an intrigue factor. There's people saying, I want to see how this thing works. And in a normal game where there's no violations, you notice, okay, the game moves quick. But when you see a violation, that's when people's antennas are going to go up and say, oh, my God, what if this happens in a regular season game? But in the early going, the pace of the game, you mentioned that Wandy Peralta sequence from yesterday's Yankee game. He literally struck a guy out in 20 seconds, and it was incredible.
I'll be honest, in terms of the pace of the game, I love it. I was worried about, the game's going to feel rushed. I watched a Yankee game the other day where I look up, and they were going into the 9th inning, and I don't know, going into the 8th inning, and it was like 2 hours in. I'm like, whoa, I'm not used to this. I have kids. My kids get a little kooky. They'll go with me to the games, but around the 7th inning, they start to get a little loopy, like they want to go home or whatever it is.
And what do? Do you lay down the law and say, we ain't leaving?
We don't leave games early. We just don't.
That's a rule.
It just doesn't happen. So he's just like, okay, well, I hope the Yankees win. Hurry up. Like, extra innings, mentally, he's out. So, I'm talking about my son. But other than that, he'll be there. He'll be a trooper with me, but he's not like too happy about it. Like he'll start like moaning and groaning.
That's why, like, as a father like you are and I am with 2 young kids, the pitch clock is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We like it. I gotta be honest. We like it from that aspect. Now, as far as the Yankees are concerned, I was worrying about this yesterday. So the Mets have a really boring spring training. I know Ronnie Mauricio's off to a good start, and Brett Beatty's trying to win the third base job. But the truth is, it's very unlikely that the Mets are going to have any job changes from spring training. The Yankees supposedly have a battle for shortstop, a battle for left field, and a battle for the fifth starter spot. But I have noticed from my Yankee fan friends that there's a skepticism that any of these battles are real. That IKF is really going to be the shortstop. Just shut your mouth, everybody. That Aaron Hicks is going to be the left fielder. Shut your mouth, everybody. No matter what you actually want, they already know what you're going to get.
I'm on that boat too, and it kind of pisses me off. I hope we're wrong, and there's an actual, because don't tell Volpe in November you got a chance to win the shortstop spot, and then come spring training, he's hitting it all ball. I mean, he's right now in that competition. If you're really looking at it, and we're a week into spring training, right?
Early
so
on,
really
sure.
Early.
Yeah.
He's killing it right now, defensively, offensively. He's doing everything that he's asked to do, and if he continues on this track and he doesn't win, then it's like funny business. I personally think Peraza is going to win because you don't just start somebody, and I want him to win because I think he's a really good defender as well as a bat, but you don't just start somebody in your most important games of your season last year only to not start him in your season the next year. That doesn't make sense to me. So
no, that's why I think start with shortstop and we'll look at left field because I think there's an easy solution to left field if the Yankees just want to do it. But at shortstop, to me, Peraza's going to get the job.
Yeah.
If he has a halfway decent spring, and the sample size is very small right now, so obviously we've got many more plate appearances, at-bats, innings to see what happens. Peraza's the guy. I think IKF just eventually becomes a super utility player, and that's all right. He could play third, he could play short, he could play the outfield. Maybe they'll go back to 3 years ago and stick his ass behind the plate.
Yeah.
Why not? Why the hell not? Want to make yourself useful, IKF?
Yes.
Go catch for a few innings.
I like that.
Of course. Listen, man, I have some ideas. But I know that there's a skepticism, and I think it's a lack of trust with this general manager and this manager, that they are just going to force the guys they want to have out there. That no matter what you want, Aaron Hicks is going to play left field. No matter what you want, IKF's going to get another shot at shortstop. No matter what you want, Josh Donaldson's getting 500 plate appearances. And I understand and respect that lack of trust you guys have, but I'm skeptical. I honestly think they're going to go with who wins these jobs. I don't think IKF is going to be forced down your throat this year. I really don't.
I hope not. I have that feeling as well. I think it's time for the kids. You can't have it both ways where you say, I want the kids to come up and develop my kids, and then you don't play them. So it's like, let's go ahead and play the kids. I want the Yankees to be a little bit more brave-like. I said it on a podcast. I said, be a little bit more brave like the Braves. Play your kids.
You're spot on.
Play your kids.
Yes.
What are you going to do? All you're going to do is just, you put them down there. If anything, it's going to make them feel like, I don't know what I need to do to get up there. I'm being blocked by IKF. That doesn't even make sense.
And here's to me the main reason. And I'm still very excited for this regular season. I know you are very excited for this regular season. But we do live in a world in which it's a 162 game kind of journey to the inevitable postseason. That's what you guys have proven, the Yankees. That's what the Mets are hoping to prove. That it's 162, I don't want to say exhibition games. I think that's too strong. 162 warm-ups, if you will.
It's 162 one-game seasons for me. So I'm like, every game, people are like, Joe, it's not the playoffs. I'm like, it's a playoff for me today. I need to win today. So
by the way, I get why in the moment you feel that way, because when I sit down and you invest in the old days before the pitch clock, 3.5 hours to watch a baseball game, I want to win.
Yeah.
So I'm not even disagreeing with you that in the moment I feel that way too. I get really excited after wins. I get really down after losses. Yeah. But when you could take a step back, especially after your team embarrassed itself in the ALCS last year, and my team, look, I'm saying it embarrassed itself in the wild card series, you realize that those games in April and May and June, they're just a warm-up. Yeah. That's all they are. But that's more of a reason, Joes, why the kids should play. Yeah. Because let's say Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is your starting shortstop on opening day. Does anybody in their right mind think that come October 5th, his ass is in the lineup at shortstop for the Yankees? There's no way.
He wasn't there October, like 2022. So I don't think that. No.
Plus, he stinks. So, we all know that. So even if you give him the job right out of the gate, he's not keeping the job. So why not use April, May, and June? And I think the Brave analogy is spot on because I saw it firsthand last year. They called up Michael Harris from Double-A.
Double-A.
They called up Vaughn Grissom, and they let those kids play, and then obviously they were a big part of their success in winning the division a year ago.
And then they'll sign those kids up
Yeah, well,
at an early age, and then they'll get out of arbitration, and they have good relationships with their players. And I'm not going to sit here and wax poetic about the Braves, but I just like what they're doing, building their team. So
look,
let's see that.
It's a respect and an appreciation. I can't stand the Atlanta Braves, but I respect what they did. And I think your point about the way they called up their younger players last year is what exactly the Mets and Yankees should do. Because that's the one question both fan bases have going into the start of this season. I mean, there's other questions, but the main thing on our mind is how can these young players impact the team? Now, left field to me is so different. I think this is really simple. Like, I feel like I'm splitting the atom here. Tell Giancarlo Stanton you're playing the outfield 130 times this year. Because if Stanton's in right, Judge is in left, and Bader is in center, I just solved your left field problem. You don't have to worry about Aaron Hicks. Oswaldo's a good, super utility guy, too. So he'll play. He's just going to play, kind of a Ben Zobrist role. Isn't that, the easiest way to solve left field?
Yes. I think Giancarlo is on our team saying that. I think the Yankees are saying no way. I don't know. The man's an athlete. Let him be an athlete. Let him play. Let him play right field. Put Judge in left field, who's another athlete. He can do it. If he played center, he can play left.
Oh,
so
yes,
it's fine. You can be able to do that. Later on, tighten up the defense, and then if you want to take out Giancarlo and put Hicks in left field and move Judge to right, you can do that. I know it feels like a lot of moving pieces, and it's been a little annoying. The last couple of years where the Yankees have been moving everybody, it feels like, out of positions. You play shortstop? Play third base. You play third base? Let's put you in the outfield. And it's like, let's figure it out that way. But I just think that's like an easy remedy. And just remedy that.
I get the concern is you got to keep him healthy. We all agree with that. But is there any proof that him playing the outfield is why he gets hurt all the time? I mean, is that really why he's had a tough time staying healthy in his time here? Because I don't know if that's the reason.
I mean, if you speak to Giancarlo, he feels that he gets hurt because he's not playing the field.
Right.
And he feels like he needs to get warm because he's not actively in the game. So I don't know. We need to speak to some doctors about that. Many doctors have been hired by the Yankees, so I would like to find out through one of them.
My evidence would be when he was in Miami, there was no DH. That was long before you forced the DH role on me. And I say you because you're an American League fan. And all you American League fans are the same. You forced your rule on me. So now I have no choice. I have the DH. It is what it is.
Sometimes you got to force the vegetables down your children's throat, too. You got to give them good things, too.
Is that what you're doing as a father? Are you taking broccoli and shoving it down your kids' Is that what you do in the McFly household?
We got to get it out there,
Trust me. You know what I do, by the way? And you tell me how you handle this. I bribe them. I say, if you have this piece of broccoli, I'm going to give you a brand new Cody Rhodes figure. He's a wrestler, by the way.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
You know Cody Rhodes?
Yes, Cody Rhodes. Or another Rhodes.
His father was kind of famous.
Father Goldust.
So no, his brother was Goldust. His father was Dusty, but close enough. Yeah, I bribed them to eat the broccoli, and you just say, "Here you go."
Not like that physical. But I'm trying to make sure it gets on their plate at least.
No, I understand. And the biggest hypocritical point of the broccoli thing, and I feel horrible about this, is that I don't eat broccoli. I hate broccoli. Every time my wife puts broccoli on my plate and says, "Hun, you have to be a good example," I'll eat like a tiny piece of the broccoli, and then the look on my face is as if I just ate poison. Like it's the most disgusting thing in the world. And then I chase it with whatever else is on my plate. So if I'm eating chicken, I chase it with chicken. Then I down like a water. So my sons look at Dad and they say, wait a second. He hates broccoli. What are we doing? And my answer is, but you're getting Cody Rhodes. All right?
Yeah.
That's why
I don't even blame you. I actually just found out broccoli is not even real. It's actually man-made.
What? Excuse me?
I found that out.
I've been shoving broccoli down my own throat, and it's not even like a real plant.
I found that out. It's like a
major... I heard something about that.
Yeah.
That it's like you never see just broccoli growing anywhere.
Yes. It's
like
not
there's
real.
no wild broccoli.
What?
It's like made, like scientifically made.
So why is that the go-to vegetable that we're all supposed to eat to be healthy? Where the heck did that come from?
Asparagus. Go with asparagus.
Asparagus is terrible too, by the way.
Let's try it.
What I've tried to do with eating vegetables is back in the day when I was single, I would cook it and put all kinds of spices on it, oil on it, peanut butter on it, jelly on
Peanut
it,
butter?
chocolate on it, like anything you could find to try to drown out the horror that is brought of asparagus. Didn't work that well. I tried, though.
I love asparagus.
I love asparagus too.
Do you really?
With
Yeah.
a good steak?
Do your
Yeah.
kids love asparagus?
I don't think so, not that much. I'm still trying to figure out the man-made broccoli. So we're just trying to figure that out.
It is. It's man-made. How about that?
Man-made.
Yeah.
And
It's
yet
a combination of cabbage and something else. Like it was put together.
Yeah, this is going to be my new excuse why I'm not eating it tonight
Yeah.
at dinner. I don't need stuff that's man-made like that.
Good.
We'll get to your calls, 877-337-6666. Daniel Jones may actually get what everybody laughed at. Why it's possible Daniel Jones may actually make $40 million a year. Plus, we have an update. I'm so happy to report an update that I've been waiting for 23 years. And I'm glad you're here, Joes, to discuss it. We have a Roger Clemens, Mike Piazza update. We got an update. I've been obsessed with this for 23 years. And what if I told you that Roger Clemens was finally asked about throwing the bat at innocent Mike Piazza? We'll get to it coming up. It's Carton and Roberts, Joe's McFly filling in.